Okay, so I would imagine a few of you got a slow cooker. Or if you haven't got a slow cooker, you definitely got a casserole dish. So you can do this recipe that I'm going to do this morning in 2 ways. Right, so you can either slow cook it. So I'm going to stick this in. What time is it now? It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to stick it in on slow. It will cook all day, and then when it comes to dinner start, I'm going to be able to do it. Now I've got a kilo of lamb there, which is a lot of lamb, isn't it? That's going to feed between 6 to 8 people, dependent on their appetite and how many calories or points they have available to them, or sins or whatever, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to cook that, and I'm going to do it in garlic and tomatoes, and I'm going to throw in a bit of mint and a bit of thyme, and then at the end I'm going to pop a bit of basil on top of it, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Alright, so I'm going to get this started first of all. What I'm going to do first is brown off the lamb. So I've got a bit of canola spray, get this from Costco, it's brilliant stuff, and I'm going to pop this lamb in. Now it's still got the string on it, doesn't matter, it just take that bit off there. Now I've got to take it off, I suppose. And I'm going to brown this mint meat off. Now the reason that you brown meat is, number one, it seals it, so it seals all the goodness in. Number two, it kind of gives it the flavour. So I want to kind of caramelise some of the meat to get those flavours out. Don't be scared of like pan frying a big. This is lamb, but it's got had the bone took out. All right. Got it from a cheap butcher's near me. Cost me a £5 for that. What is that? Right. Okay. So while that's just browning off, I'm just going to chop up. Not many ingredients go into this really, but it is absolutely amazing. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, so what I'm going to do with lamb for 8 people, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the remainders of this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a nice curry with it tomorrow. So I'm going to make enough curry to go in the freezer that will feed probably the whole family at the weekend. Alright, I'm going to bang some chickpeas in with that, and I'll do another video if you like to show you how to do that. Okay, so great, isn't it? Okay. So make sure, please, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, alright, because what that will mean is you'll get all these great recipes that I'm going to be putting on over the next few weeks, months, and even years, alright. So you'll get some of my family favourites, you'll get some new recipes that I'm devising. I'm definitely taking some inspiration from you lot, so if you've got any great recipes, please make sure you send them to me, and I'll give you a shout out when I do those as well. Right, okay. Let's get my big probably. You got your favourite ones, didn't you? Like, you got your ones that, like these ones. These are my favourite, look. They're not my favourite, they do my head in. I love these. Funny, isn't it? I don't know, is that just me? Oh, look at me. I'll keep looking at my hair. No, don't look at your hair, Sue. Next Tuesday is the day for me. I live in Leicestershire, right? I live in the unlockdown bit, okay? I'm not in the naughty corner. But my hairdresser's is. But they opened on Monday, how great is that? So next Tuesday is the day for me, can't wait. Alright, so that's sizzling away nicely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown that up. I'm going to switch off for a minute, because you don't want to sit here and listen to my, although it does. They've got a smelly vision. Can you smell it? Smells gorgeous. Look at that lamb. We always think of lamb as being quite high, don't we, in points and calories. But actually, it's one of those foods, and I've been talking about kind of the binge diet cycle and what goes on. And it's one of those foods when you talk to people that are trying to lose weight, they miss. You get a lot of people that are losing weight that won't eat lamb because it's too fatty or too fattening. But listen, I've got a nice lean bit of lamb here, and as long as I have a little bit of lamb on my plate with loads of sauce, and I put loads of fresh veggies, a few lovely new potatoes, some great new potatoes out there, well, I've got a lovely meal, and that actually brings the calories down. And what I'm going to do today, I'm going to eat pretty light for the rest of the day, which gives me the opportunity to have something that's a bit heftier in the evening. It's all about balance, folks. Right, okay, just switch off for a minute, I'll come back to you. So, here's a slow cooker. If you've got a casserole dish, stick it in a casserole dish and put it in a low oven. Put it at about 100 for about 5 or 6 hours if you want. Okay, so here I am, look. Lamb. Browns are smelling lovely, the dog's going mad. Where's mine? You're not having any, dog. Right, so bung that in there. Okay, so hardly any oil in there, just don't need it. I'm going to turn my light down. I did that on quite high, as high as it would take, just so I could brown it off. I've got one large onion. I'm going to pop that into there and start to brown that off. I'm not putting any more oil in. If that starts to kind of stick, because I don't want to put any more fat in here, what I do is I get my thing, and it is starting to stick. I get my jug, just pop a bit of water in it, just a splash, it's very ample. But, right, just to, you see that? Just a splash of water. And that means that we can carry on cooking, doesn't it? No more added fat. Right, okay. Whilst I'm waiting for that to cook, I will use my jug again and turn those up a bit. Oxo cubes. Now, because this is quite a hefty portion. Sometimes I use those North things, don't get me wrong, I love those. But good old Oxo cubes, there's nothing wrong with good old Oxo cubes, is there? They're okay, especially when you're cooking something for as long as I am here. So I've got 2 Oxo cubes here, that's one. Okay, I think these are been hanging around for a while, these Oxo cubes, so normally you can crush them and open them up, but these aren't doing it, so we'll just pop those in there, like so, and I'm going to make a pint of stock. Do you hear me flush water tap? Wasn't worth it. Right, okay. Now, I've used beef stock. The only reason I've used beef stock is because I ain't got any lamb stock cubes. But it won't make any difference because there's so much flavour in that lamb there. It won't matter. Honestly, it will matter. Okay, next ingredients to put in here. So I've got that cooking away and boiling. It's softening enough, so as soon as those are softened, which shouldn't be too long now, I'm going to use 3 cartons of passata. 3! Honestly, bear with me on this. You won't regret it, I promise. And as well as that, I'm using, now I've just been to the co-op to get some garlic, couldn't get any garlic, so I'm using lazy garlic, and I am a lazy Susan, so that's fine. Okay, so lazy garlic, so I'm going to pop some of that in there as well. I'm going to pop in the equivalent to 1 whole bulb of proper garlic. Alright, okay, so let's get that in there now with onions. As soon as you put your garlic in, okay, make sure you put some fluid in, because you don't want the garlic to burn, because if the garlic burns, it goes bitter. So the equivalent to 1, so I'm going to put, there's 1 heat teaspoon, 2 heat teaspoon, 3 heat teaspoon, 4 heat teaspoon. There's a lot in it. But this is cooking for hours and hours, and it's going to seep into that meat. Okay, my stock goes in here now. Okay, that's some stock at the bottom. Let's give it a bit of a plop. Okay. I think yeah, 1 tablespoon, or is it 2? Let's just check. Oh yeah, 1 tablespoon. I forgot, I've cooked this so many times. I've got the recipe written down. 1 tablespoon of tomato puree, which is about that, isn't it? What do you think? That'll do, won't it? So that's cooking away. Let's turn this right up, get it bubbling. And then we want the equivalent to 4 tablespoons of Worcester sauce. Oh, my, this woman's mad, isn't she? 4 tablespoons of Worcester sauce. What are you doing? Look, this was my grandma's spoon. How good is that? Look at that. See it? Right old thing. You get attached to things in your kitchen, don't you? 1, 2. You can't see me, can you? Because it's on the thing, but 3, 4, and a splash floor. Right, okay. So that's going to go on. I'm going to take that right up now. While I'm doing that, I'm going to take this. This is your passata, and I'm going to plop that in here too. And I'll cook this until everything's nice and softened up and it's all combined and it's smelling gorgeous. And then as soon as I've done that, which will be in a minute and I'll come back to you, I will be popping it into the slow cooker. Okay. Right, so the sauce is kind of combined, cooked and done, and took about 10 minutes. Now, stand back because I don't want to splash you. All right. Right. That was well judged. So that, hopefully, should just cover your lamb. Let me see if I can pick that up and show you. See it? Just like peeking out the top there. So there's lots and lots of sauce in there. Now, don't worry if you think there's too much, because they ain't. Because I'm going to use this to make the curry as well when I kind of make the curry tomorrow, so it's going to be amazing. Final thing to do, salt and pepper. So I've got some salt in the salt keeper. You want a good pinch of salt, because you're seasoning lots of food here, aren't you? Think about it. And you want a good amount of black pepper to... Oh, do you know, I can't wait till later. What shall I have it with? I'm going to have it with new potatoes. So I might try and get some asparagus, sprouting broccoli, a few peas. Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Alright. Keep going with the black pepper. Remember, because it's like, it takes a while, doesn't it? Right. Last bit to do is a bit of mint. So I've got some rosemary here. I'm going to leave this in as it is. I'm just going to, and that's out my garden. Right, that goes in. And the mint as well, I'm going to leave it like that. Now, I'm just going to pop that in, just like that. Bugs and all. No, there ain't any bugs on it. I have washed it, I promise. And just give it a bit of a press down. Now, I've got the slow cooker set to low. It's 10 o'clock now. We're going to eat this about 6:30 this evening. So it doesn't need to be any higher than that. It will just sit, it will bubble, it will cook. And when I come back in from my 18 holes of golf later with the old man, that'll be absolutely amazing. Can't blooming wait. Okay, so I will pop into the details on here. So have a look for them. I'll pop in the recipe. I will also pop in the points values if you're following WW, and I will pop in the calorific values for this, and then I'll do the same when I do the curry tomorrow. Okay, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. It is one of our family favourites. It's a great recipe. And remember, this sauce, you could actually put chicken in it. You could bake this sauce on its own, and you could use it with fish. Like a nice bit of cod in a nice tomatoey garlic sauce you can't go wrong with, can you? Okay, take care everyone, see you soon, bye. So here we go, this has been in for, oh my goodness, there we go. Quite a few hours now, so about 8 hours on low. Ignore my husband chatting in the background. There you go, and it's really, really tender and beautiful. It's a huge big pasta bowl, and you can see that, it's huge. Absolutely huge, and it's full of the leftover lamb, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a curry with that. Alright, so there's enough curry in there, or there will be by the time I've finished, for at least 4 people. So I've took out 2 portions, so remember it's split into 6 portions for the kilo of lamb at least. Could do 8 with it actually, if you put mushrooms, onions and peppers in it. So yeah, good food.